ZVP. Starting map is Daybreak. Let's start it off in the top right-hand corner as the pink Zerg. It is, of course, I, also known as Galaxy.
And bottom left, we have the boss toss, the Obama president toss, whatever you want to call him. Kratos Protoss, if you want to call him Iron for throwback. It is Minchel, also called MC from Team SK, formerly of OGS, and one of our NASL Sunday Showdown champions. MC is he still the most winningest player in StarCraft 2?
I think he is the most winningest
He's
player.
easily won over 300K of prize money. 300,000. You imagine what NASL could do with a budget of 300,000? That alone is just so impressive how MC's been able to do in StarCraft 2. And this player is just so dominant. NASL is one of his homes. He was a finalist in Season 1. And we're talking about how weird it is having an NASL Finals without Sen. How weird would it be to not have an NASL Finals without MC? Just him being on stage. His stage presence is phenomenal.
I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Of course, I don't want to count out our good friend over here, Galaxy, our new friend over here. He is doing a 13 pull. That will trigger MC to actually, go for a Forge first, or he should put a Forge first. Wow, this is very bold for him to actually delay this for so long. But Daybreak is a pretty big map, so maybe MC is thinking, okay, my opponent really doesn't have the capacity of doing any pushes like this. Let's just play it a little bit more bold. But no, there the Forge goes.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Galaxy because MC, his PvC style, I think Apollo said it best, or Archos said it best. MC is one of the most studied players in the world. Everyone copies his builds, everyone sees what he does because he goes to so many tournaments in public play. Whether he's playing in GSL, whether he's playing in Red Bull at MLG, people have seen his 2 base, his 7, his 8 gates. People have seen his Stargate play where he says Phoenixes are really imbalanced. We've seen him do all kinds of weird stuff, like even Zealot Charge Archon. Remember when he did that against Sheth? We see him do blink timings, DT openings. He's capable of everything, and that's what makes him so deadly. But people don't know too much about Galaxy. Who is this guy, Andre? What have we been seeing him do in ZVP?
He's all over the place. When he matched up against Hasselhoffs, he did a lot of different mind games and actually proved to me that he understands the matchup so well. He plays these games where it's like you think he's doing something aggressive and then he pulls back. He definitely has the indicators to know whether or not his opponent is capable of one thing or the other. Blinkstalkers or Phoenixes or Dark Templars, whatever it might be. He's shown a lot of prowess throughout this whole, well, I guess all the matches that we've seen of him in the what was it? The NASL Open tournament.
Yeah.
And I really think he has a good chance against MC. There are certain cases, I mean, if everything goes his way, where MC is just caught with a build order loss, and he's behind from there. And Galaxy isn't a player that just loses, even though, you know, he has an advantage. Similar to what we saw, I think, I'm not going to call him out, but, you know, there's a lot of players that get these advantages, but just lose out just because of decision-making going into mid and end game stages. Galaxy is not a player like that.
Yeah, Galaxy, when we saw him play against Hasselhoff, open up Proxy Hatch at his opponent's natural to block him from Forge Fast Expand, and then follow with standard Roach Link play. It's just really interesting to see how he takes the matchup. Last time we saw him on Daybreak, he went for a Roach Link drop, and he was just able to really be in multiple places at once, pull Hasselhoffs really apart that way, and get a strong win. And I remember that match because Hasselhoff looked like he could have made a comeback, but it was really difficult for him to do. Now, MC does scout this 3rd timing, 3 hash before gas, the staple build in ZVP currently. But what Galaxy does really interestingly is his usage of gas initially. Sometimes he goes really for a quick layer and then goes for like Ventral Sacks as one of his first gas spends. And he's just not afraid to switch things up, so you can't actually say, okay, it's 3 hash before gas, I can expect him to be going like Roach Ling or anything like that.
Yeah, so everything's like very open at this point then.
Yeah. Oh, and he gets his gas at 3rd and 4th spot. Normally,
which I was talking about before. I was saying this is the go-to place, in my opinion, for always getting your first 2 gases. And the main reason for that is because if you get it at your main, it's very hard for probes to actually get in there or zealots to get in there. But if you get it at the natural, all of a sudden, Protoss can see, hey, they have 2 gases. They could potentially have 2 gases back here. I have to be careful in case my opponent is going for some sort of 4-gas tech. And that's the kind of stuff, it's really, really important to actually make it so your opponent has very little indication of what you're capable of.
The same thing too, because I know Galaxy, if he's gonna get his other gases, he also gets it at his third base. So it looks like he might be up to 6 gases. It goes that far into like the head games and decision making from MC. Now MC has chosen quick robotics while getting up his gateways, pretty standard of him. But MC, one thing I want to talk about MC is that he's also been still evolving his play. What are we over?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. He's still evolving his play, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why is because he's been incorporating a lot of warp prisms in his play. A lot of people haven't really been used to seeing MC. He's kind of been a player of brute strength, but now he's been throwing a lot of finesse plays, sentry dropping. Remember against Sheth, he did that, and also even just adding in warp prism to kind of use for vision and also warping in. So MC's been incorporating that, and it's actually pretty cool to see MC trying to put that into his arsenal of play.
So the main thing I oh my god about was the fact that MC is selling a 4-gate push so nicely. He actually went the very quickly fast +1, and he sat back and went the robotics facility. And normally you're saying, well, why are you getting the robotics facility if you're not really doing much with the forge? Right, 1-1 is okay. The +1 armor, yeah, it's great to have, but you can kind of hold that off for a lot of different timings. What MC is trying to do is say, hey, make roaches really, really early. Take a little bit of loss in this beginning stage, don't drone up as much, and then I'm going to go ahead and have this tech that you're not really suspecting. And off of this, he'll be able to actually get an expansion pretty fast. 9 minutes in. And yeah, look at this. 3 spine crawlers being placed. So unnecessary. Look at this as well. The lair is being taken without having the 5th and 6th gases. The creep isn't really being spread because he's preparing for some sort of push at this point.
Yeah, and Galaxy does have his gases at his third base too, so you know that's what MC sees, and he's going to be able to react accordingly. And look at Galaxy trying to be really diligent and taking the creep tumors and push it all the way out, but MC also responding by sniping creep tumors while expanding to his third. Great mind games from MC, which is another point in which MC's really been improving on, just being able to play on what people know about him.
Exactly, and you know, you might look at this and say, hey, well, you could have taken this expansion at 8 minutes and 15 seconds, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. But look at this. He's just delayed his push by 45 seconds, or delayed, you know, his expansion by 45 seconds, but in exchange has sold something completely different. Galaxy all of a sudden has all these units that he really should not have at this point, and he's going to try to do damage, but MC already has established the perfect army composition to receive this as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, the only thing that MC would have to nail from this point on is positioning and make sure that he doesn't get too far out of position in terms of being able to defend. Does have his natural pretty well covered, but that's pretty much the hardest thing. You have to have vision. That's where MC's trying to get his observer into the right area to spot. Now he sees that one pack of roaches is at the watchtower, but he doesn't see that other army that's towards the north. And MC has to be really cautious with how he approaches, but he does have an incredible amount of sentries. He does have 11 currently.
Yeah, this is the standard style. And I love this too. Think about it, like, a lot of these sentries are actually useless against like a fast Muta-style, fast Infestor style, and people have been actually trying to hard counter MC that way, but he sold the 4-gate in the beginning that forced a lot of Zerglings and Roaches at this later game stage. And then after that, his sentries become a lot more useful because all of a sudden, you know, his opponent has all these units that are very susceptible against sentry pressure. So I love the order in which MC has done everything. And he's sold the perfect things to give him the greatest composition against composition.
And now Galaxy really can't break him. Galaxy's trying to get his upgrades, and I don't think Galaxy really intends on pushing at all. If the opportunity presented himself, then he might be able to capitalize, but for now, Galaxy, you can see he's just making more units, getting his upgrades, and I don't think he should really force himself in. He could lose a lot of units. Oh, and MC traps a huge amount of Zerglings and makes sure they can't run around, and that's actually a huge blow to the army, just because Zerglings are there for the surround, and also at the natural good defense as well from MC.
Yeah, Burrow will save a couple of these roaches, just 2 actually. There's an observer right around the corner if you want to go spot it out, but and not to say, you know, we're going on about how great MC is, Yes, he's doing great, but Galaxy is surprisingly doing very well as well. 4th base is already being established at this point. He has his Infestor tech up, and a Hive is inbound.
Yeah, he's starting his Spire, so he's going to line up to quickly get Broodlords out as fast as he can. He does have 6 gases, and he gets his 4th base out already. That's actually a great move by Galaxy as well, getting that 4th base, knowing how to be able to position himself like that. Now, I also love these Spine Crawlers. from Galaxy, really trying to fortify this base, although it's a little bit hard. Andre, we've been talking about the possibilities of fourth bases. Should they be taken in the center compared to in the corner? And Galaxy really putting himself in a position where if he ever loses his army, like he might lose a chunk of roaches here, he can open himself to a potential counterattack. And it's really hard to defend the center compared to, you know, being able to try to engage in other spots.
I think the center in this position is the correct position, just because you want to actually group up all your spine crawlers together so you can receive your opponent's army a lot more efficiently. At this point, MC obviously wants to push out, but now he's pushing out into a bunch of spine crawlers and infestors. So once you lose all your sentries, you're dead. This gives him a lot of time to actually get his hive tech up, which of course is the broodlords. It takes quite a long time for broodlords to pop up, but everything has been done correct. And this Spire should be prioritized right now. There it is. Look at that. The Spire finishes, and instantly he has the Greater Spire being made.
Well, Roach is caught out of position again. MC locks them down. And you can see the burrow as well, but MC does have an observer at the watchtower if he wants to bring them. Oh, in fact, though, the Roaches are still on burrow, and they blink forward. They can actually flank the sentries and the Immortal. And the Roaches are just going to try to see if they can swipe the Immortal, but they don't actually get it whatsoever. Zergling's also threatening a surround, but MC managed to dodge a pretty big bullet there.
Now look at this, taking the 5th base. I think MC's inactivity is actually killing him at this point because he's still on, you know, for the most part, Gateway Immortal. Just now getting his first Colossus, but this is pretty delayed. And the fact of the matter is the Infestor count actually locks everything down in time. I don't think he'll be able to kill the Spine Crawlers efficiently, and because of that, obviously taking the loss.
He does have a lot of Immortals, and MC, the timing is now. Greater Spire is about to finish. And obviously, you don't want to let the Zerg get those Broodlords up, especially by the Infestor count. And you can see MC does force field the army off. Wow. And you can see a huge flank of Zerglings was ready in case MC wanted to commit.
That would have been the coolest thing for Galaxy if he was able to get that surround, but good force fields keep them alive. The Zerglings, they're actually doing wonders for Galaxy. This keeps MC pretty far back because all of a sudden all of these units, all of these positions are, you know, are threatened. The 3rd base, if he loses that, he's on the worst 2 base in the world since the main is about to dry up as well. A group of Zerglings will go to the bottom here, but Broodlords have already been started. I don't know if he can actually hold this as Zerglings go to the 3rd base.
And you can see MC, well, he does have a lot of cannons, and he can warp in. Oh, he can't warp in. He's supply blocked.
Yeah, well,
that's really tough. MC's going to position himself in the bottom right corner for that 4th base. But just like you said, you know, MC going to lose that economy at the 3rd. Very critical blow indeed. MC takes out this base in the bottom right corner. More Zerglings going in to try to go for a counterattack. Also at the natural as well, but MC does manage to pick it off.
Oh, nice Colossus positioning. Keeps him alive over there at the natural. But how does he actually approach this? Spine Crawlers are actually not repositioned. That was a big blow, but now the Broodlords get up here. He has to be very careful. He does not want to lose any of these Broodlords. Give up the 5th base, that's fine. You know you already did economic damage to your opponent. Just sit back, get more Broodlords, keep exchanging your Zerglings. You're in a really, really good position.
MC getting his Stargate out, wants to eventually get his Mothership, but he's been stuck to, just like you said, a pretty low econ. Even though he does have some resources banked, it's not the incredible like 3K, 2K that you normally would be seeing if MC was able to get that 4th base up. But nonetheless, he does have a maxed army, and MC with a maxed army is a happy MC. He blinks forward, takes out one Sparkle with only a few of the Stalkers. Good control thus far, and this is looking really intimidating because we don't actually see that many Broodlords out. There's only 4 Broodlords.
Yeah, where are the Queens at this point? The Queens need to be up here to help out with those Broodlords so they don't just get picked off immediately, but they're not to be seen.
And a lot of Infestor energy already has been burned on the exterior forces that are trying to poke in. And MC is blinking forward, taking out those Broodlords, and actually dissecting the Zerg army, this late game Zerg army that everyone's been touting about. But because the fact that there's no Queens and there's not a lot of Broodlord support, more Broodlords are hatching, but the Infestors are already almost out of energy and can't really protect it. MC is pushing forward, and the supply counts are pretty much favoring MC. MC blinks forward, snipes the base, and the Broodlords are about to drop as well. MC with a huge momentum boost.
I cannot believe this on only 2 bases, and he's pushing forward. Wow. The efficiency is up the wazoo in this current position. Now he can actually, no, he misses the fungal growth. A bunch of Spine Crawlers are trying to go down right now, but Galaxy just is not able to do anything. Leaving those Colossus alive, let him deal with the Broodlords so efficiently. He took out the Spine Crawlers, and that's that. I mean, I cannot believe what we just saw, Frodan. He's going to keep blinking up now. His Stalker count is thinning out. Can Galaxy actually hold from here?
Needs to blink forward. Now he's getting under the Broodlords. The Colossus still doing a good job keeping everything on the ground at bay, but the transfuses are not enough. That did buy enough time for the Spine Crawlers, but there are Immortals also working on everything else. MC does have, you know, a good army here, really. There's anything that pops out can immediately die. As long as it's Colossi stay alive, you know, you can see that they're so weak, but there's nothing really to reach it. The Corruptors pop, but there's nothing out there. MC needs to win with this army, though. He's pretty much used up everything back at home, and he has really no source of income other than just a few mineral patches back at his natural. But this is it. MC, he's done it.
Yeah, he did it, man. He has control of this bottom ground. The natural is going out. He's going to move into the main and just make sure none of these units can actually congregate together so they can attack with one huge punch. And this is beautiful.
3 Broodlords are on the way on the right side. This is the last hope for Galaxy, but there's just so many. MC spreading out his units just in case anything comes for a huge flank, including any festers that might pop immediately. And you can see that even though there's 3 Broodlords, and as great as Broodlords are, not going to be enough. MC now working onto the interior main base of Zerg. Galaxy pushing in with his 3 Broodlords, but that's not going to be anything. He does have one base, though.
Yeah, he'll probably go behind these Spine Crawlers, but from here, if MC plays this right, he can actually just sit back and macro, surprisingly. This is absolutely phenomenal play from MC. I can't believe he was able to do this. I would say the one mistake Galaxy made was obviously not having his Spine Crawlers, or excuse me, his Queens in position, but not only that, not taking out these Colossus, which have been instrumental. Look at, oh my god, look at the kill count on these Colossus.
61 and 66 Colossi kills. It's just absurd how many units have died. Look at the units lost. The efficiency of this Protoss army has been doubled. And that is just absolutely absurd at this point. The Spire's about to die due to lack of creep. And you can see that MC has cleaned up the rest of the tech, even if the fact that, you know, he's going to get these Broodlords out. What can really Galaxy do? I guess he could turtle at this point, but MC has all the positioning in the world. There are a lot of spines, though, and it's really hard for Protoss to attack up into that. MC still has to be cautious, but he does have one Infestor also for Fungals.
Oh, nice Fungal actually goes down, kills 2 of those Stalkers. From here, MC should realize, okay, let's make sure that you don't have a lot of bases. Let me check and see if you have a second base. I was about to say a fourth. A second base. Oh, a lot of Broodlords out here. They are maybe too far forward. Blink comes up, and he might take out one of the Broodlords. Yes, he does. Outstanding play by MC. Now he's going to work around to the second base. In the meantime, there are Zerglings over at the probe line, but that's going to get cleaned up very easily by Stalkers and Sentries.
Yeah, MC needs another base. He does manage to clean up this other expansion from Galaxy, a very big blow indeed, because Galaxy would be stuck on one base economy, but that one base is pretty low as well. And as long as MC can play the starvation game, it'll be very good. Oh, he plays forward slides another Broodlord. Every single Broodlord matters so much. The fact that the Galaxy's playing with fire is so dangerous. And man, the Infestor count used to be so high, and there's only one left. I should write a book, a sequel to The Last of the Mohicans called Last of the Infestors, man. There used to be so many of them. There were like 14 at one point with full energy. Just one. GG gets called out. MC takes game number 1 on Daybreak with a 1-0 victory, solidifying his lead just for now. But man, what a game that was.
I think I need a cigarette.
Just winning, just winning against all odds. I think, because just when there's like 15 Spine Crawlers, 15 Infestors, and he's Broodlord tech out. The big thing, of course, he's had like 4 minutes of Broodlord tech out, and he only had 4 Broodlords.
The one thing, I think actually making the Broodlords there, this is just my own theory crap. I think this is right. Making the Broodlords there was incorrect. Keep them low, and then after that, you actually go into a position where you have a ton of Corruptors, you take out the Colossus, and then you have Stalker, Immortal, Sentry against Spinecrawler Infestors. That's a really good position for you to be in. Then you can actually start maxing in Zerglings. Then you can max in Roaches, and then just defend that way. Get a lot of Corruptors, kill the Colossus. You know your opponent is on basically no economy. Just try to all-in defend that composition. Don't look towards later game, and you'll win the game.
Yep, fair enough. Simple and straight. We'll be back with game number 2 after we thank Azo, the people who provide monitors for NASL Season 3. Grab your own Azo monitor at azo.com. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2 between MC and Galaxy. The fight for a spot in the NASL Finals will continue after these messages. And the caster bash was apparently Chance's idea.
Oh,